Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I just read a lot of books, which is why I kind of just naturally fell into being a booktuber, even if I don't exactly do booktubes the way everybody else does. Apparently you're not supposed to do one book at a time, but I don't care. So today's Series Sunday book is Call of the Penguins. The first book was Away with the Penguins, and that was such a beautiful book, and this is the follow-up. And again, it's just lovely. Admittedly, I think I preferred the first one, but this is a really nice follow-up with the characters to kind of see how the first book affected them and kind of just carrying on the story. I'll just read the back of this book for you. Fiercely resilient and impeccably dressed, Veronica Macready has lived an incredible 87 years. Most of them alone in her huge house by the sea. But Veronica has recently discovered a late life love for family and friendship, adventure and wildlife. More specifically, a love for penguins. And so, when she is invited to co-present a wildlife documentary far away in the southern hemisphere, she jumps at the chance, even though it will put her in the spotlight just when she thought she would soon fade into the wings. Perhaps it's never too late to shine. So in the first book we met Granny Macready, Very, as her nickname was when she was younger, and you realise that she was an elderly woman who she didn't really have any family left. Her son was taken away from her because she had a teen pregnancy, and so she ended up in a nunnery where they just, you know, they nurtured her through the pregnancy and then went and adopted the child out without her permission, which happened to a lot of people. It's very sad, that part of the story. In her 80s, her assistant found out that her son that was taken away from her actually went on and married and had children, and so she was reunited with her grandson. I say reunited, just united with her grandson, because she didn't know that she had one. And so it was going on from the first book. Obviously in the first book we were looking at Granny Macready's diaries and the finding out about her childhood and her teen years and what led to her being estranged from family and everything. And then this book takes that a step further, because now we are finding out what actually happened to Granny Macready's son, because her grandson Patrick is there going, well, now that I found Granny, is it worth me researching and finding out what actually happened to my dad? In the other book we found out that Patrick's dad, Very's son, died in a mountaineering accident, and this book just delves into Patrick researching and trying to find out anything he can about his dad and passing that information on to Granny Macready while she is away presenting this wildlife documentary. And she takes a friend of Patrick's daughter who is suffering from cancer, and she's part of this I Wish programme which she writes to. And so basically Granny Macready has just developed a family through Patrick, and it's so sweet and it's so lovely and it's so heartwarming. And I'll admit there are moments in this book, like in the first one, where it really does tug at your heartstrings. It's written just in a lovely way. This book is 380 pages. You also got chapters where you look at Terry, who ran the blog post in Antarctica for the penguins. You find out that after the relationship that started between Terry and Patrick in the first book, in this book their relationship has become estranged, and at the beginning of the book you have them both in very different places. They're not communicating with each other, and it ends up with them breaking up at the very beginning of this book. And then throughout the story you kind of find out their headspaces and what they're thinking and not communicating with each other. And throughout the book you're just there going, please just talk to each other, please, because it would just fix everything, because they're both making assumptions about each other based on their own personal problems. And it's just like, if you spoke to each other, all of this could be sorted, and you'd realise you're meant to be together. Even Granny Macready was playing matchmaker in the first book, and it feels like she's doing it again in this one, because like she sees that spark between Patrick and Terry, and she's just there going, well, I need to fix this. And so yeah, so you've got the story with Veronica, you've got the independent story of Patrick trying to find out about his dad, and then you've also got the story of trying to figure out what's going to happen in this relationship between Patrick and Terry. And then you also see Veronica's relationship with her co-presenter on the wildlife documentary, who in the first book she was just an admirer, and now she's like friends with him, and seeing that friendship, and it was just like, I wonder if there's going to be another book that kind of looks at like the foundations of that relationship between Veronica and Robert. Yeah, the presenter, so Robert Saddlebow, kind of like a bit of a reference to like Attenborough, like this guy that is just presents just like everything. He's like a bit of a national treasure. Just seeing that friendship and seeing Veronica like co-hosting this programme and seeing just how competent she is and how good she is at like putting things together, and her observations of this TV show being made, and like all the adventures that happen while she's off jet setting the world with Robert. Sir Robert, as he's constantly referred to throughout the book by Veronica. She's very important about people's titles, and she's always there going, my friend Sir Robert. Yeah, it's just lovely and sweet and heartwarming and a bit heartbreaking at times. Seeing Veronica becoming like a proper granny in regards to Patrick's friend's daughter, Daisy, and seeing the care that Veronica has for Daisy, and making sure it's the fact that obviously because Daisy's a child, but Veronica really does treat her as an adult, and also this child has been forced to grow up very quickly because of how ill she is, and yeah, it's just lovely and cute and wonderful, and I'm really loving these books. I don't know if there's going to be another one, but this has been a lovely series to read for Series Sunday, and these were a gift from my auntie Nikki, my godmother, and she gave me both of the books. Yeah, everybody knows I love to read. So yeah, these have just been lovely to read, and thank you Auntie Nikki for the books, it's been lovely. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video. Stay safe everybody. Bye!